Okay, y'all, we're at the local favorite store of everybody in town, Home Depot. Coming to get some wood to rebuild my upper cabinets on the other side over. Pretty much the same design of the new one that I just built. It's gonna be lighter and it's gonna be cuter. I need the thing for the wood. They don't have one out here for the wood. Hello, you guys. So today I am installing magnets on my cabinet doors so that you can, the doors can stay magnetized. This is a van. So this is for a van build. I have these magnets here. Never mind hold on. I had some stuff on my finger. I have these magnets here that I bought off of Amazon, and I will link them below. They come with the magnet and the little plate that's attached to it, and you also get the screws to come with it. So the first thing you want to do is screw this down where you want it at. And then the little plate that's on it, take you some caulking and you can put it on the metal plate and then close the door, and you're going to get some of the caulking on the door, and that shows you where to take this off at. And you're going to take that and you're going to stick that up there where you see that at, and then screw it. So that's how you do it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments bar below. Hello, Sunshine Squad. How are you guys doing today? What time is it where you're at? Morning, noon, or night? I don't know. It's 12 something or 1 something here. I'll let y'all know what time it is when I check the time. I've been in the van already. I put up the other door to the cabinet over there. We had took another door down because it was not closing all the way. So I thought if I made another door out the same wood that I made the other door out of, that it would close better, because I thought the other wood was like I had used a used piece of wood or an older piece of wood with a newer piece of wood, and I thought maybe that was the reason why it wasn't closing. But I made a new door and put it up, and it still wasn't closing all the way. So we got the magnets on there to hold the door shut when I'm driving. So once the magnets was on, it closes. So I did make another door, and it's not exactly matchy like the other one was. So I'm thinking, since it did the same thing that the other one did, that I might as well put the other one back on there. And yeah, I might as well put the other one back on there and have them match better. So I'm going to do that later. But right now I am working on my upper cabinets over here. I took the other cabinet that I had built down. I took that cabinet down. And so we have a new cabinet that I'm working on currently. I already cut the wood for the frame, and I went in the house to eat. And I just got through eating. Got me an extra bottle of water. And so I'm about to get busy. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Turn the light on. So these are the new cabinet doors. And this door is the new one that I made yesterday. And I don't know if you could see. It's a little gap right there. Oh, it's not a gap because it's push close. But I had to put 2 magnets in here for that door. See, if I don't push it, it'll stay open a little bit. But this one automatically goes down and it closes flat. This one is not closing as flat. But I made a new door. And as you can see, the design is not like totally matching the aesthetics. The other door matches this door better. I mean, and to y'all probably like, oh, okay, we don't see the difference, Vanessa. But I'll show you the other door and show it to you and show you what is going on. And so the other shelf that was over here, I took it down and we're going to put the new frame up, which attaches to the ceiling. Any paint that I need to touch up, I need to touch it up now. I don't know if I have any more white left, but yeah, I'm gonna have to touch that up. Yeah, I need to touch my ceiling up a little bit. So that's what I'm working on today. Let me turn the light off. And this is the shelf that I took down. I'm gonna be using that shelf in the shed storage room out there. So this is my frame that I cut, my wood sides to it, and all I'm about to do is just put it together. But before I put it together, I'm gonna sand it really good. I like to sand all my stuff, even if you're painting over it or staining it, and you might not think it matters, but it does, because it just makes it look more professional, and the stain and the paint takes better when you sand it. So I'm going to sand it first with what is the grit paper? See, this is the other door that I think matches the vibe better, and I'm going to go put that up later. I call myself saving. This is my little workstation, y'all. I call myself saving the, okay, here it is. The other grit. This is a harder grit, 80 grit. So we're going to start with the 80 grit first, and then we'll finish up with the 220 grit. So that's what I'm about to do now. So we're going to have some extra wood left over from this. This is all we needed to make the frame, but we had to buy a whole sheet. This is the easiest way to build a cabinet, you guys. So if you are doing a van build, and even though this wood looks a little bent, once we nail it together and put the pieces in, it should straighten it out a little bit. But this is the easiest way to build a cabinet, is just to build the frame first. So I got 2 inches of the top and the bottom, and my cabinet space that I need to fill is 6 feet. So we made this, instead of 72 inches, I made this 71 and something inches, so that I could have room to put my sides on. So I don't know if you can see the difference in the wood, but the edges are rounder and this front is like smoother. So I'll show you a piece of wood that haven't been sanded and show you the difference. See, the paint is gonna take better on this piece because it's been sanded. See how that is not been sanded, and see how the edges are more square, and see how the wood is splintering right there as well. So it just makes for a better piece of wood. I don't know if you can see the difference on the face. And I'm still going to go over this with my 220 grit. So I've done this with the 80 grit, and then we're going to go over it with the 220, which is going to make it even smoother. So that's just my process. I'm going to sand the ends of it. And I do this with all my wood, every piece. So it is a time consuming. Okay, that looks good. Even though the wood, like it's a little bent. But another tip is do not buy like 1x4s and stuff like that for your framing in the van. Do not buy any framing in the van. Buy a sheet of 3/4 inch pine and make your own framing. This wood is more solider than the other wood, and the other wood does chip and crack a lot. Miss Charlene them didn't buy the 3/4 inch plow to make their own framing for their van build, for the cabinets that they just got through building, and the wood cracked and split and all of that. And you can eliminate all of that if you buy your own buy 3/4 inch. And the thing about this is you can make it to whatever size you want, and it's a better value because once you get those boards that you're buying, they're charging by the foot, and it ends up being more than one sheet of 3/4 inch ply, which is $49. So you can get more for your money, more for your bang. You can customize it, and it's not gonna split. Also, the wood just looks better on the 3/4 inch pine too. So right now what I'm doing is I am sanding down everything with the 80 grit sandpaper, and I will, one of these looks a little off, and we need to make sure everything is the right length. Well, they're not looking even. Let me get a piece of wood. Make them flat. Well, this one right here got a little knot on it. Well, after I sand it, I'll be able to tell. Yeah, they're not looking like totally even, which would make our frame. Maybe we want to put this on our cutting board, on our saw, and cut these at the same time. I don't know, child. I don't know what to do, because they're not totally They're not totally even. And we need them to be even, Steven. So let's cut this. Okay, I took them through the chop saw just like this. Ran the chop saw down. So now they are even. And that's a good thing. And I can actually sand these at the same time. We're through with the 80 grit sandpaper. I want to see if these are still even. Turn them around this way so you can see that they're even. And I'm gonna sand one with the 20 grit and show you one not sanded with the 220 grit. You could decide whether or not you want to go through all these steps. The wood smoother. And when the wood is smoother, it's going to accept your paint and your stain better. And it's going to look better. Even though this is just a frame, but I don't know if you could see the difference in the wood. This wood is smoother. This wood is smooth because we just sanded it with 80 grit, but you can see the difference. It is so much. This one is smoother. This one is a little rougher. So I don't know visually if you could see the difference, but if you see the difference now in this wood, I'm gonna go sand this wood, hold them back up together because you can clearly see the difference now, but I'm gonna sand this one and then see if you can see the difference. And if you want me to turn it over on that side, I could just see the difference in the texture, and you could feel the difference as well. Now you could clearly see the difference before. And in reference to texture now, they are both smooth. And you can't really see the difference. But again, let me bring one that's not sanded in here and see if you can see the difference. And again, you don't have to go through all these steps. This is a very simple way to build cabinets, and you do not have to go through all these steps. To make this easy to put together, we're doing pocket holes. I didn't do glue with the other one, but I might do pocket holes, glue, and screw. Okay, you guys, I got the frame together with pocket hole screws. I have the pocket holes facing this way because the frame is going to come on the outside of it and cover this up. And the inside, we want some of the holes on the inside. So I got pocket hole screws. I got glue at the seam. And I have screws on each end. I don't know if y'all can see that. Screws on each end going through the wood. I have nails and I have glue. So we glued it, screwed it, and nailed it. Inches wide. I was feeling like I should have made it a little wider. Let me go double check my other shelf. Put it down to size, and I sanded it on both sides, just in case you guys want to know the dimensions of this cabinet. It's pretty much 14 1/4 wide, and the height is let me get my measuring tape so we can see what the height on this is going to be. The height is pretty much 15 inches, looks like, with this. 15 and 1/4, which makes it simple and easy. This is your frame, which is your face frame. And you're going to connect the bottom of your cabinet to the face frame and hang this on the wall. You got your square, and then you just put everything else together. If you want a piece in the middle, you put a piece in the middle. So what I'm about to do right now, you could put this together and paint it all when you get it together. But I want to stain my whole piece before I put it together. Smooth surfaces. You're probably going to need more than one of these. I do have the other ones from the Dollar Tree. This one is not from the Dollar Tree, but that's what we're going to use first. But you know, the front is going to have a design on it. So I'm just going to pour some stain on here. Is my fourth coat on that side. After these brushes are good to put the stain on, it gives you a better finish. This look better than the other stuff I did first because I was using that rag. These are good, but they wear out. I think the stains start wearing them out. So you're gonna use more of those. So when the brush starts deteriorating, it does get leave a little fallout behind. And that's the last brush I have. Now I got some with the felt, with the regular roller brushes. I don't know how that would take on here. That was my last foam. And I just used the smaller one from the Dollar Tree. The smaller one left more. It did okay, but the smaller one would be good for this because it's covering the whole piece. This one, you have more lines in it. So I think I'm going to have to use that bigger one. But I think I'm gonna, because they do suggest you sand in between pieces, but I don't be. Okay, you guys, I have forgot, and I always forget, to put the holes in here for my under cabinet lights. So I drilled the hole. It's not big enough for the light to go through, and the next size up is too big. So what I do is drill the hole, and then I sand it with this until I can get it to fit. And as you can see, it's not fitting. But you want to keep checking it, because you don't want to sand it too big. At this point, it's seeming like I should have made the hole bigger, child. But before you start staining or painting, remember to do your lights. So what we did was 16.5 inches from the edge is our first light. So we did 16.5 inches from this end and 16.5 inches from this end, so we know that is centered. And then we did so many inches apart from here and so many inches apart from here, so we know that is centered. So the lights will look more uniform. Okay, y'all, I was recording what I was doing and my phone storage was full, so I do not know what happened. But anywho, I don't know how much of y'all seen. I drilled some holes in my countertop. This is the underside of the cabinet for my pug lights to go in. I did spray paint these, but they still looking rough and tough. So what I'm gonna do is sand these, and then I'm just gonna put some gold paint on them with a brush. I'm gonna sand them a little bit, and then I'm gonna stick them in there, and we're gonna hang this up with these lights in. They are very snug. I had to sand out the holes in order to make them wider, because the 2 1/4 or 2 1/8 is a little too small, so you do have to sand it out a little bit, and the 2 1/4 is a little too big. So I use this little file, and I just go all the way around it and sand it out. And after I did that, I wiped it down real good, and I put my last coat of stain on there, and it's looking really good. Once this dries, I am going to turn this over and stain the other side 3 times. And this piece, I think it got enough stain on it. I'm gonna look at it closer and see if I have any areas where I could just do another coat. But I think that piece have enough on it. Once this dries, then I could attach these 2 pieces together, and I can go in the van and actually hang this piece up. And then I need to make 2 more other pieces. I should have made 4 pieces like this to go all the way down. I can't explain to y'all. I'm gonna have to show y'all, because right now I'm just talking. And anyway, I need 2 more pieces like this. One, when I put this up, one is gonna be on the back of this one in the inside of the cabinet, so I could screw it up and nail it to the wall. And then one at the top to do the same thing to the top part. So yeah, that's what I need to do. And I am about to, and I might put some pocket holes in the other piece to screw down into here to just make it more sturdy. I might do that as well. So that's what we're working on right now. And yeah, I'm about to get some wood and lay down here so I could set this down. I don't want this to get stained up or messed up or anything. Or I might just go and turn it over, child, and put some stain on it. So that's what I'm doing now. And I just want to update y'all. If y'all have any questions about this process, this is the easiest way to build a upper cabinet for the van. It's the easiest way, but the way that I do it still might be time consuming because I sand each and every piece of wood that I put on it, and then I stain every piece of wood that I put on it, and I stain them separately. And as you can see, I gave this several coats. I did sand in between the last coat, coat number 4, and then I put a 5th coat on. So you don't have to go through all that trouble. If you don't want to use stain, you don't have to use stain. You could use paint, but I highly recommend that you start using stain and going into the bare section where the stain is, and they have a color wheel or some colors that they can make custom to the color that they have on that wheel, and they may be able to make a custom color of the stain, so that way you can get the stain in whatever color you want or closest to what you want. The stain has longevity and it just looks much nicer than paint. Highly, highly, highly recommend. And on a side note, the way that I put my stain on with the brush is so much better than how I put it on when I first started staining. I put it on with a rag, and that was not, it's not coming out, it didn't come out looking like this. This looks better putting the stain on with a brush. So you don't have to do it like super fragilistic, expialidocious. You don't have to do it like that if you don't want to, but I want the inside of my cabinet to look just as good. Nobody's perfect. And nobody feels 100% of the time. Can I get an amen? We're going to let that dry. That's coat number 2. We're going to let that dry for like 10 minutes, and then we're going to come back, and I would cut my other wood, but now we're not going to do that because the sawdust is going to get everywhere. So we're not going to do that, even though we could. We're not in a rush. This is not a marathon. Can y'all even see me? This is not a marathon. This is not a race. You're not in competition with anybody. Remember that in life, in your real life, whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you want to do, this is not a race. This is not a marathon. You're not in competition with anybody. Do what you want to do, and as long as you're happy with the outcome, that's all that matters. I'm going to let this dry for about 10 minutes, and I'll be back. You can sand in between coats. This is filling. A little rough. As you can see, I sanded that with some 220 grit. It didn't take off that much paint, but it did take off that excess paint that I wanted to take off over there. We're just wiping this down with a rag. And then we're going to go over here with our 3rd coat of stain. I really did 4 coats on the other side to get to the color that I needed. But then I end up putting 5 coats after I use the smaller brush. I wish I had another brush like this, so we could do a new brush. but I don't have another brush like this.